Central High School in Woodstock. This is the 14th edition of CHSPN, the Central High Sports Programming Network. My name is Kyle Gutschall. Today I'm joined by Maria Marston. We want to welcome you to this week's episode of CHSPN here in the third week of February of 2020. We start this week's episode with a recap of some events that took place last week with our basketball and wrestling teams here at CHS. We're going to begin with basketball, and the boys lost a tough one on the road to William Monroe in overtime, 58-53. Falcons couldn't fight back in overtime to win that one. And the girls also lost to the Dragons as the Lady Falcons fell behind early and weren't able to rally against one of the better girls basketball teams here in the state of Virginia.
Also, Friday and into Saturday, the Central Wrestling team was in action from Independence High School for the Region 3B tournament. Freshman Isaac Dodd advanced to the Class 3A state wrestling tournament at the Salem Civic Center to be held on Friday, February 21st and Saturday 22nd. Isaac was the first able to defeat a wrestler from Manassas Park, then fell in the second matchup to a wrestler from Brentsville, before taking down the wrestler from Warren County to clinch a berth in the state tournament. CHSPN's Olivia Wayman had a chance to sit down with Isaac and talk about his season.
I'm with Isaac Dodd today. He is a part of the wrestling team here at Central. So Isaac, what has your season been like this year?
It's been pretty good. We started out strong. We had about 25 to 30 kids in the room. Then it got tougher because the kids started draining out and they didn't want to do it anymore. So we had less and less people to practice with, so it got harder and harder.
And I know that moving up to 3A, it's been tough. Can you elaborate on that for us?
Yeah, it opened up a whole bunch of new teams like Skyline, I think Brentsville too. And it's a lot harder competition, so it's a lot harder to go on to states and move on from there. So, but it's also good because it gets us more practice and better people to wrestle.
Yeah, and how was regionals?
Regionals was good. I feel like as a team we did pretty good, but as an individual and myself, I feel like I could have done better. I feel like I could have made it to the finals, but you know, I messed up. So.
Well, it's all right. And how are you guys preparing for states?
For states, I believe me and my brother are going to camps in the summer. This year on the team, we did harder practices, more conditioning, exercise. We do practices on off season and tournaments on the off season.
Good. Well, thank you for being here with us today.
Yep.
Now back to the studio.
And a big thanks to Isaac Dodd for sitting down on this week's episode for the interview. Now switching back to basketball, as Tuesday night the boys hosted George Mason while the girls were on the road to finish off the regular season. And it was a close and low-scoring affair for the boys, and it took overtime, but the boys finished off a very big victory, 46-41 in overtime. It was senior night as they ended the regular season with a record of 19-3, and we'll be back in action Tuesday night in the playoffs as they'll host the winner of the Independence and James Monroe basketball game. Now for the girls from last night, the girls took on a solid George Mason team and didn't have enough to win it as they fell 45-24. One huge bright spot was Maria as she cashed in on her 1,000th point. Maria, what did it feel like to be able to get those 1,000 points?
I mean, it feels good. It's definitely a good accomplishment for me, but I have to say thanks to my coaches and the teammates for just believing in me and telling me to just always shoot the ball.
So, yeah, big accomplishment last night for Maria. The girls will be back in action tonight against Skyline in the opening round of the Region 3B tournament. Before moving on to this week's CHSPN Game Picks of the Week, we want to recognize both of the JV basketball teams here at Central, beginning with the girls as they saw some huge improvements this season, finishing the record at 12-10. Congrats to the JV girls on an outstanding season. And last but not least, Tuesday night, the JV boys finished off an unbelievable and dominating season with a 22-0 record, something you don't see every day. Congrats to the JV boys team as they accomplished something that many teams dream for. Now we're moving on to the CHSPN game picks of the week. We're going to turn over to Logan Yo as he sat down with a student here at Central, Michael French.
Thanks, Kyle. We're here with Michael French this week to do our game day picks. First, we're going to start with tonight as our girls will be traveling to Skyline for the first round of regional play. Who you got in that game?
We're going to go with the girls, go Falcons.
Our boys will not be playing tonight. They have a bye. They'll be playing next Tuesday at home. Tomorrow, we have a lot of college action. We're going to start with number 3 Kansas at number 1 Baylor.
I think Kansas go with the upset.
Number 8 Florida State will be traveling to NC State tomorrow.
NC State because they just beat Duke, so they're having a good trial.
Virginia Tech will be traveling to Cameron Indoor to face Duke tomorrow as well.
Duke.
And then our last game, we'll have number 14 Oregon at number 24 Arizona.
Arizona.
Thanks for being with us this week. Send it back over to Kyle now.
And thanks to Michael French for sitting down on this week's episode for the CHSPN Game Picks of the Week. We want to thank you for joining us here on CHSPN for another episode from Central. And we want to send you off with some photos and congratulate all the seniors here at Central that'll be going out from the athletic department. We'll see you again next week here on CHSPN.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. There's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. Of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind and hang them on a shelf in good health and good time. We'll tattoo the memories and days get on trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. There's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. Of your life. It's something unpredictable, in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. Of your life.